You've certainly heard of plot structures, whether it's beginning, middle, end, or the 12 Steps hero journey, or any number of others. You know that stories have structures. You might not fully understand how they all work, goodness knows I never bother with the hero's journey, but you get that stories do things in certain orders in order to be effective stories. Based on what I've seen in the fandom spaces here on YouTube, it seems to be the consensus that Vivian Medrano struggles to use story structure and doesn't tell effective stories. Some people say that Hazbin Hotel is too fast and doesn't set up enough before diving right into the character work. Others say it's too slow and takes forever to get to the plot. I don't think that either is strictly true. I'm going to explain my thinking using the 8-point plot structure, using Vaggie as my case study for both how the 8-part story structure works and how secondary characters can be used to enhance the main plot. So with that to look forward to, let's begin with the 8-part story structure and how it works. The 8-part story structure is one way of mapping a story arc. If the story is more episodic, this story structure can be used for individual episodes or chapters, and if the story is more serial, it can be used to map episodes and seasons-long plot arcs. Seeing as Hazbin Hotel switches from being more episodic to being more serial at episode 5, we can use it to describe either. And indeed we shall. Let's start by using episode 3 as a case study, since this video is about Vaggie and episode 3 is Vaggie's episode, more so than it is anyone else's. In the first few shots, we're introduced to the stasis, or how things are on a random day. Charlie is getting ready to celebrate Serpentius' first week.
That looks perfect! Ah! I am so excited that Serpentius is staying at the hotel.
Angel Dust is at the bar. Nifty is psychotic. Then something happens to trigger the plot. Serpentius comes in with some insane cannon thing and buys weapons to use against the other guests.
The Skin Slayer 11,000!
The quest, and this is where it really becomes Vaggie's episode, is to get the residents to trust each other so they don't feel the need to be violent with one another.
Well, it's true. You have to trust us.
But I don't.
Charlie assigns Vaggie to lead the trust exercises and puts the responsibility for the success of the activity on her shoulders.
Actually, I thought maybe you could take the lead on this one.
Vaggie takes this responsibility to heart, and we'll see that come back into play later. The quest is the part of the story that takes the longest and can be further broken down into quest cycles of trying and failing a few times. They try trust falls.
All right, so we are starting with trust falls. Each of you are going to share something vulnerable with the group about yourself and then fall backwards while the rest of the group catches you. Got it?
Which fail.
I don't know if this is really working the way we hoped.
They go to the dungeon, which fails.
What the actual fuck?
No activity requires more trust than BDSM, baby. No bond stronger than those formed through bondage. That's their motto.
Then we get a surprise, sometimes known as the bolt from the blue. Usually this is an external force, and we'll see some examples of that later on, but this episode does something cool, and the surprise comes from within. Vaggie surprises everyone by getting tunnel vision and putting the residents in danger to get them to trust one another.
There is nothing stronger than the trust between comrades in arms. Buckle up, buttercups, because today you boys become men.
Charlie stops her and forces her to reassess what she's doing, prompting Vaggie's critical choice.
Vaggie, no!
This is the only way they'll learn, Charlie.
No, it's not.
In which she, as the person driving the plot forward, has to stop and reassess whether what she's doing is getting her closer to either her goal of supporting Charlie or her goal of getting the residents to trust one another.
I'm sorry, I'd like to be alone for a minute.
Her climax comes as she sings about how she's going to do whatever it takes to make Charlie's dreams come true, and reaffirms that, with this mission, everything she does has to be in service of that goal.
So I'll be your armor. Do whatever it takes. I'll make the mistakes. I'll spend my life being your partner.
She comes home and we see the reversal, or the change that has come upon her. Vaggie apologizes to Charlie for getting so crazy.
Hey.
Hey.
I'm sorry I got so crazy today.
And she's not the only one who's changed. The residents are socializing together and seem to have learned something from her lessons.
Look what your exercise did for them.
And then when that buff guy started beating the shit out of you.
Yes, with the dismembered arm, yes. That was particularly unpleasant.
She then extends her trust to Serpentius as she gives him back his eggs.
Why don't you give them back to Pentius?
Really?
Yeah. After today, I guess I can trust you with them. But seriously, no more weapons.
The episode reaches its resolution as Charlie comments that
Maybe things will move faster than you think.
thus wrapping up some loose ends and presenting a bit of happily ever after for the characters. This episode is a very tightly packaged 8-step story, and there are a considerable number of these episodes. I'm open to doing a video where I go over how well each one of them fits into this 8-part structure, if that's something people would find entertaining. So let me know in the comments if that sounds good to you. Now check this out. Season 1 of Hazbin Hotel also follows the 8-step story structure. Episode 1 shows the point of stasis. All the characters are introduced, including who they are to each other.
And everyone remembers me from my radio show.
When you showed up here a week ago, you told us you would help run this hotel. Nobody's gonna want to come to a place that a powerful overlord like you thinks is a waste of time.
Can I suggest you take better advantage of the talented celebrity you have right here?
Angel, you're a porn star.
A famous porn star.
Why do you think I'm here? You actually think I'd be cleaning bottles and listening to you fucks bitch and moan all the time if he wasn't forcing me?
I like being forced.
Keep that to yourself, Nev.
Sinners are exterminated once a year.
An extermination to ensure hell and its sinners could never rise against them.
And Charlie wants to make that not happen.
If I can show them the dream I've dreamed that any soul can change.
Those angels' minds are hard to
change. Everyone can be redeemed.
But nobody in hell thinks she can do it. Even her allies are there to save money.
Hey, whatever means I can keep crashing here rent-free. Crack is expensive.
Or to laugh at people struggling to get better and failing.
I came here because I love seeing wasteful souls struggle to accomplish something meaningful and fail spectacularly, like you are doing now. Good job.
Then the meeting with Adam is the trigger. Charlie's brought into this meeting thinking that she can convince him not to kill sinners, only to find out that the only reason he called the meeting was to give her a heads up that he and the exorcists will return in 6 months instead of a year.
As long as I got your attention, I guess I should probably mention that we've made the determination to move up the next extermination.
What?
Can't wait a whole year to slaughter those little cunts. I know it's just been a week, but we'll be back in 6 months!
The next 5 episodes are the quest. This part of the story takes the longest to tell, and it's supposed to. This is the part of the story where we get to know our characters, their traits, their flaws, their wants, and what keeps getting in their way. The more that's set up here, the more that can be paid off later. I've heard some criticism that the first half of Hazbin is too slow and the second half is too fast. I personally disagree, but even if that's your preference, that's not a bug. It's a feature of the writing style and a deliberate choice. The reason the last few episodes feel so punchy and satisfying is because the first 5 did so much legwork in setting everyone up and teaching them lessons before showing how they've grown as people. Episode 1 shows that Charlie is so naive that she thinks she can solve extermination through conversation in boardrooms.
So I'm happy we got this opportunity to meet. There's a project I've been working on that I really want to talk to you about.
And in episode 7, she gets herself together enough to
Be the marshal leading the parade.
Episode 2 sets up Serpentius as a coward.
Abort! Abort! SOS! Agent Pentius in need of immediate evacuation!
And in episode 8, he sacrifices himself for his friends.
Pentius?
That crazy motherfucker.
Target in range!
Fire.
Episode 3 sets up that Vaggie's keeping secrets that are holding her back from being a good partner to Charlie.
When I saw your face, you made me feel like a stranger in a brand new place, and it felt so good to be understood. But there's so much I wish that I could say.
And in episode 7, all her secrets have been revealed, and she's able to be the most help to Charlie by getting the arms dealer to sell her weapons against the dealer's better judgment.
Well, look at that. You might just survive this.
We're gonna need more weapons.
It also sets up that Charlie doesn't know how to build trust with people because she's never been betrayed or put in danger.
I trust everyone, so maybe you'd know better about how to build it properly.
And episodes 6 and 7 are the payoff to that by having her be betrayed, seemingly for the first time in her life.
Did you ever think your little girlfriend might be a liar?
Adam, please. What's the fuss?
Why hide the fact that you're an angel just like us?
And having to learn to reconcile with the person who lied to her.
Charlie,
Hold that thought. I got you a souvenir from Cannibal Town.
Oh, Charlie.
The wings are new. They look nice. Come on, let's go home.
Episodes 2 and 4 set up Angel Death's substance use disorder and show how he prefers substances to socialization.
Sorry. Not now, fat nuggets.
And in episode 6, he shows off his new coping skills for Heaven to see.
See? He did everything on your checklist. He was selfless. He stopped Nifty from stealing, and he stuck it to that Mothman.
Episode 5 sets up Lucifer's grim, dark, hopeless outlook.
You see? This is exactly what I'm talking about, Charlie. You build something nice, you invite people in and offer them everything, and they just bring violence and chaos to your doorstep. It doesn't matter how well-intentioned you are, they're always gonna disappoint you.
Only for him to come through for Charlie and support her and help her in the fight in episode 8.
Sorry I wasn't here sooner, sweetie.
If these things weren't set up and explored thoroughly, then the payoff wouldn't be nearly so satisfying. This part has to be slow. Now, to get back to story structure, in episode 5, Charlie tries something new. We're still in the quest, but she's shifted from directly helping her residents to trying something a little more structural.
He could get me a meeting with Heaven.
didn't we already try that?
Well, yeah, with Adam, he was an asshole. But he isn't in charge of all of Heaven. We could go to the top. There's sure to be some angels who will listen.
This is where the series changes from being episodic to being serial, and where the story starts to feel like it moves faster. Episode 6 has Charlie again trying to buy them some more time by going to Heaven to plead their case.
We are gathered here today to determine whether or not a soul in hell can be redeemed into the heavenly realm by means of this Hazbin hotel.
The end of episode 6 has the surprise, in which things get a whole lot worse for the heroes. Adam tells them that they're going to be the targets of the next extermination, reneging on his promise to Lucifer to only target sinners, not the Hellborn.
You better save the date, cunts, because we're coming to your hotel first.
Charlie then faces the critical choice to stand and fight, and especially to find within herself the strength to do so by finding and leading new allies.
I can be the marshal leading the parade.
The climax is in the fight between the angels and demons at the Hazbin.
Here they come. Get ready, everyone. We fight together.
Come on, let's go.
The reversal is Charlie's takeaway.
It starts with you, you know it's true. Fulfill your destiny.
So long as I've got all of you with me.
And the resolution shows the strength of the coalition she's built throughout the season, who are willing to join her in her quest to redeem sinners.
We'll make a difference, wait and see. We're gonna do this, you and me.
And then tomorrow it will be a fucking happy day in hell.
Now, I promised Vaggie would have an interesting role in this arc, so check out how Medrano uses Vaggie's backstory as an episodes 6 and 7 subplot that bolsters the main storyline by further heightening and relieving tensions in parallel with the tensions of the main plot line. One of the common bolt from the blue moments is a betrayal by a character that you thought was an ally to the protagonist. Medrano plays with our expectations and knowledge of storytelling with what she does next with Vaggie. The reveal to Charlie that Vaggie is an angel and was an exorcist comes within seconds of Adam threatening them that he would come for the Hazbin at the next extermination.
Why hide the fact that you're an angel just like us?
I'm sorry, but this court finds that there is no evidence souls in hell can be redeemed.
Oh, fuck yes! I win! Suck it, bitches! You better save the date, cunts, because we're coming to your hotel first.
Between the temporal adjacency of these two actions and the fact that these actions are both huge disruptions in Charlie's ability to pursue her mission, there's no mistaking that Medrano purposefully used the reveal of Vaggie's identity to build additional tension into the main storyline. Even though Vaggie doesn't actually betray Charlie beyond having kept her past private, the emotional distance between them is very real. It's just emotional distance created by Adam's revelation rather than distance created by fresh betrayal. Charlie's critical choice to stand firm and lead an army to protect the Hazbin and protect her mission of saving sinners is, just like the surprise, tied up with this new Vaggie drama. Her hesitation and inability to sway the crowd of cannibals to her cause is directly related to her being distracted by her relationship problems.
You clearly got more on your mind than angels.
What do you do when someone you love lies to you about who they are?
It's only after Rosie helps Charlie work through her feelings that she's able to address the crowd and raise an army. Again, these things happen within seconds of each other.
If there's anything I've learned, it's that words are cheap, but actions, they speak the truth. So, what have her actions said?
That she believes in me and what we're doing. Right now, she's off learning how to protect everything we've worked for. And I can't even pitch my hotel right.
Well, how do you normally explain your hotel?
By singing. But that never works.
It will work here. Trust me.
Have you ever wanted something that was so clear in your mind that you could taste it?
Charlie's need for support is one of the main themes of the show, as evidenced throughout the season as she works to talk people into agreeing to help her. Vaggie's support means more to her than anyone else's. Charlie's ability to reconcile her partner who loves and supports her with her flawed past echoes the mission statement of the Hazbin.
Isn't that silly hotel of yours all about redemption?
Yes.
Perhaps this girl was trying to redeem herself too.
And strengthens this core theme of the show. What this analysis of the episodic plot arc and the plot arc of the entire show reveals is that Vivian Medrano understands how stories are put together and how to write a story, and uses that knowledge to write a good story. One-off episodes and the season as a whole makes sense using this very common and popular plot structure. What's more, she does some really interesting, sophisticated things with her secondary characters to heighten tension and reinforce the themes of the show. Certainly, people can and will continue to critique Medrano's writing, and this video can't stop them. What it can do is outline what worked about this show for me, and if the incredible popularity of this show is any indication, for a lot of other people too. And there we have it. The finale of another Hazbin Hotel character breakdown. I'm so glad to be sharing these videos and these thoughts with you. To be honest, I didn't know I had this series in me until one of you asked about Vaggie, but as I started thinking about her one by one, these videos started forming. If you've been with me from the start or have gone through my back catalog, you'll notice I'm running out of main characters. I've still got plans to write videos about Mimsy and Nifty, and I've got a few ideas for unpacking some of how Medrano writes a political show that has nothing to do with real life or even Earth. I've also got about a half a script of a video ranking the songs by how much storytelling they do. I am interested in checking all of the episodes against the 8-point story structure, like I mentioned earlier, and turning that into a video. If any or all of that sounds good, or if you want to share something else, I'd be happy to hear you out. The series was entirely inspired by a commenter, and I'm very grateful for the suggestion. Make sure you subscribe so that I can be sure to see you in the next one.